Hello, hello, beautiful. Welcome to day 3 of the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge. I'm so glad that you're here with me, and I'm glad that you're doing this challenge. Now, this is only a 3-day challenge, so today is the last official day of the challenge. Hopefully, you have been enjoying it so far. I've loved seeing your emergency medical folders and what you've chosen to do with them, and I've loved hearing your stories. So keep up the good work. You are doing awesome things so far, beautiful. I love it. Oh, sorry. The bug man is also here, so hopefully, hopefully the dogs won't bark too much. Okay, so like I said, today is day 3 of the challenge. Let me know in the comments, are you enjoying this abbreviated version of the challenge so far? It used to be 7 days, but I know that you could do great things with these small steps in less time. So let me know that in the challenge and tell me who you are, where you're joining me from. So today I wanted to focus on how to store your emergency medical folder because it's only useful if you can get your hands on it and the people that would need to help you out or help your family members out if you had a medical emergency, if they can get their hands on it. So how do we store this? How do we let the first responders know where it's at? And more ways to keep yourself and your loved ones protected with getting all of your important information organized and in one place and safe and secure so that you don't have to worry about that. So that's what we're talking about today. Welcome to Me Too, who is feeling rather needy at the moment. So she's not a puppy anymore, but I still call her my puppy. So she's joining us today too. I want to say really quickly, welcome in the chat area to Lori. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. She asked, is there a way to transfer information from the earlier version of the emergency medical folder to the latest version? Aside from copy and paste, there's not a super easy way. There is no button to transfer it over simply because we don't host any of your personal information anywhere within our system. So all of your personal information stays on your copy on your computer. So there's we don't have access to it. We never will. I don't ever want to have you worry about anybody having important information and access to it. So with it all being on your computer on your earlier version, it would be a copy and pasting it over. Or a lot of times the updates are just small updates. You might just want to update one page, if anything, into that newer version. Hopefully that helps answer your question, but with us not hosting it, that means we don't have a way to pull it across. Good question though, love it. I want to say hi to Patty W from Tampa, welcome. Hey CJ, she says greetings to all, especially my sister Lori joining us today. Hi Lori, other Lori. Looking forward to another stellar session, she says. Mary is here. Hi, Mary. Great to see you again. Enjoyed having you over in the group hike the other day. And CJ and Lori. Rosella's here. Welcome, Rosella. And Robin, who just got back from San Diego. So she's got to catch up. Not a problem. Well, you have a little bit of time still. Jeannie's here from Washington. Welcome. Glad to have you. And we've got Suzanne here. Busy weekend, she says, but she's working on her emergency medical folder today. Woot, woot. Love to hear that. Hey, Peg, good to see you as well. And I saw a lot of you during the group hike, which is fantastic. Okay, so like I promised you, today we are talking about how to store your emergency medical folder. And that would include the complex and chronic expansion if you also grabbed that, which I know a lot of you did. I'll talk about that a little bit when I talk about storage as well. And how to do this with the rest of your papers so your loved ones can be super safe and you can have everything that you need at your fingertips. That's what we're talking about today. And if you are following along with the challenge, everything that you need, if you missed anything at all from the challenge. So Robin, as you catch up, if you need anything, anybody, the challenge schedule page has it all. It has replays of the lives from the challenge. It has our daily task email copies. It has all the downloads, the free downloads, and links to the free Important Papers workshop coming up this week. If you've not registered for that, that one's free and it's something that you do not want to miss. So anything you need, head over to the challenge schedule page. If you're getting the emails from me for the challenge, then this schedule page link is also at the bottom of every email that you've gotten from me for the challenge, just in case you need it. Okay, Yep, Lori says that she figured it out, so she'll compare the pages and see if there's anything that new that she needs. Good job. Hi, Sharon. Good to have you. And Heather, welcome. Uh, Patty says, here's the Barker. Yes. Oh, yes. Jeannie says, I like the shorter version. I can't always make all the sessions when it's longer. Completely understandable. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that this works out so well for you. Fantastic. All right, and also I do have another thing that I've added just today to the challenge schedule page for you. When you go to the challenge schedule page on day 3, you will find a link to download a page of business card size. You can cut these out. They're little business card size pieces of paper that you can share with your doctors, your family, friends, church group, book club, whoever that you come across that would like a free emergency medical folder. So they can get the free templates and build their own. So if there's anybody that you wanted to share your emergency medical folder with, I know my doctor loved it when I gave him a bunch of these little cards that he could share with his patients, because the nurses and my doctor were so impressed the first time I brought my emergency medical folder. So feel free, share as many as you want. I would love for everybody to be able to get these free templates and build their own and stay safe. So let's get started though. All right. How do we store our emergency medical folder? And this includes, if you also grab the expansion from the challenge schedule page, the chronic and complex expansion. You can put it all into one folder if you want to, or you can have them 2 separate folders, but you would keep those folders together if you have the 2 separate folders. So that way they're easy for first responders to find, your loved ones to find, easy for you to grab as you leave the door. So the goal of the emergency medical folder is to be able to quickly grab it and go. If you need to go to a doctor's appointment, to the hospital, even if there's just an emergency evacuation, this has some of the essential information for your emergencies, right? Emergencies around the house, you need to be able to quickly grab it and find out the alarm company information, where the water shut-off valve is. All of that information needs to be at your fingertips. So that's one way that it's used. The other way is for other people to be able to grab it and assist you if you're not able to communicate. Assist you and assist your family members, because your emergency medical folder, you can either put all of your family members in one folder with dividers, or you can have one for each member. But if somebody's not able to communicate, we need to make sure that first responders, the ambulance, the fire truck, all of those people can find the information that they need, so that they know if you've got life-threatening allergies. They know what medications you're on. They know if you have any specific medical needs. And they have emergency contact information, so they can get in touch with anybody that they need to. Emergency pet information, and they know that there are pets in the home. But they won't know any of that if they cannot find the folder, right? So this is one of the few things that I'm going to tell you to keep somewhere visible in your home. Now, a lot of the times, first responders for medical emergencies, they have been trained for many years and still follow the same principles of looking near your freezer. So back in the day, they used to have these little tubes and they'd have these bright orange ends on them. And you'd put that in your freezer with important medical information. Well, some people still do that, but a lot of times emergency medical first responders will look inside or around the freezer in order to try to find your important information. So while I'm not saying you need to store your folder in the freezer, you can if you want to, but what I like to do is I like to create a little sign that I put on the front of my freezer. And my sign is a bright red sign with the medical cross on it, and it says it says something like emergency medical information is located at, and then I can write in where I have my emergency medical folder. Now, I've done you a favor, and I've shared with you the free emergency medical folder location sign. You can find that in the links. I'll share more about that on the page, but putting that on your freezer so it is extremely noticeable. Don't put other papers over it or around it too close, that it stands out. and right where you have your emergency medical folder, that means first responders can quickly find this if they need to get it, right? And then the folder itself, I like to put that somewhere that's easy for them to figure out where it is. So on the location side, I might put next to the microwave, because that's something that's very easy for them to identify where it's at in the room, or on top of the refrigerator. That's easy for them to identify. Okay, the refrigerator, if it's on top, they know where to look. If you put something such like next to the Ninja, and then I'm not sure what the Ninja is, it might take them a little bit longer, or if it's in a back room or a different room, it's going to be harder for them to find. So I do like to keep it in the kitchen. I like to keep it near something that is very easy for them to find, and that's why I like to have it as a red folder so it's easy to spot. Okay, so that is how you are going to make sure that they can find what they need quickly, and you will get the best care possible. Now, with your emergency medical folder, like I said, I am sharing a printable sign for you. It is on the challenge schedule page under day 3. So when you go to day 3 on the challenge schedule page, you will see the printable sign that you can print out right where your emergency medical folder is and put that on your freezer. Hopefully that helps you out. I know that it helps me out. And I just wanted to share a quick story. We had one of our followers who shared the story with me of her husband needed emergency medical care. And while she called 911 here in the States, she called 911 and then went back into the bathroom area where he was and sat with him until they came and while they were there. So while she was in that bathroom with him and the emergency responders had come, one of the responders went to the kitchen to look for information about emergency medical information. And he found the sign on her refrigerator and her emergency medical folder, and they had everything that they needed without her even having to tell them. So even though she could still communicate, they knew where to look and let her focus on her husband, which is where her focus needed to be. So with the emergency medical folder, it's really helpful if you do have that able to, for them to be able to quickly find it within your kitchen area. So that's how to store that. Now, when it comes to your Spark Life Binder, now remember, the emergency medical folder is one part of the Spark Life Binder. The emergency medical folder I gave you for free. The Spark Life Binder is something that's available in the store, but the difference between the two of them, because I don't want you to get this confused with storage, the difference between the two is the Spark Life Binder has every single area of your life covered. So it would include things like finance and insurances. It includes all the information about your dependents. It has important ID numbers. So the social security numbers and veterans IDs and driver's licenses for your entire family, end of life arrangements, medical information. So all of your medical history would go in here. Real estate and personal property. It would have legal and official records. So some of your legal documents would go in here. Digital life, so all of your passwords go in here. This has everything that's important for your life so you and your loved ones know absolutely everything and can get your hands on it. Now, because it has so much personal information in it, the Spark Life Binder, you do not want to leave out where just anybody could see it. Where if you had somebody come in as a service person to your home, or heaven forbid, if somebody break into your home, this is something that needs to be hidden away. Now, in the Important Papers workshop, I talk about some creative ways that you can keep this completely hidden from the wrong people, but still have it at your fingertips. So when you join that free Important Papers workshop, then I will tell you how to store this. But just remember, because this has your entire life's information, you want to make sure that only the people that you tell about it know where to find it. Okay, so don't get that confused with your emergency medical folder. That needs to be hidden. Emergency medical folder needs to be something that people can easily find and give you medical assistance. That's why we don't put social security numbers in your emergency medical folder. We don't put credit card information. We don't put anything that's too sensitive and private in there. All right, so really quickly, before we go on to the next part, I wanted to say, to read through the chat. Lori says, Will you be giving any new information in the important papers workshop? I took it numerous times before, so if there's no new information, I'll pass on registering for it. There is no new information. No. So, Lori, I know that you've taken it a couple times before, which is fantastic. If you want to take it again, anybody that you can. But there's nothing particularly new and different that I will be teaching. So feel free to skip it. If you do have your Spark Life Binder and you just wanted to get remotivated with it and get restarted, or get some more tips that you've forgotten, feel free. You can register for the Important Papers Workshop as many times as you want. So feel free. And if you've never built, see, in the Important Papers Workshop, which let me share the information since we're talking about it right now. Here we go. So in the Important Papers Workshop that's happening only this Wednesday and Thursday, those are the only days that those are happening. You can register for free on the challenge schedule page. If you don't have the Spark Life Binder, then this is a perfect workshop for you as well, because I will teach you how you would build your own Life Binder as well. So you don't have to purchase anything with that Important Papers Workshop if you don't want to. I'll tell you how you can build your own. I will tell you how to keep it secure. We'll talk about backing it up. We'll talk about keeping it safe. Talk about cloud storage, all the different sections in it. So you can grab a Spark Life Binder while you're in the workshop if you want to. I will offer that at the end, but if you want to build your own Life Binder, then feel free, register for it, and you can see what all is involved and how you would do that as well. So hopefully that helps. Now, before we go on to the next tip, I wanted to say hi to lovely Marie. She says, hello, beautiful family. We got this. Yes, we do. She says, keep going in baby steps. I love that. It's so true. And Kelly says, my folder is in the bag that I take everywhere. I keep the bag on my countertop when I'm at home. Perfect. So on your refrigerator sign, you would write what that bag looks like and tell them to look inside that bag on your counter. And that's fantastic. Love that. And really quickly, Jeannie says, should you register for both days? Nope. Both days will be exactly the same. So pick whichever day works for you. They're just so that they can fit into multiple people's schedules. And because I only have limited spots that the software can include. So I wanted to make sure to have 2 spots so we can fit more people in, but the spots are going fast. So if you do want to register, make sure to register as soon as possible, just in case either of those sessions do fill up. And really quickly, I did want to point out, my shirt says perfectly imperfect. Now, when you are working on your emergency medical folder or your chronic and complex expansion, or even your Spark Life Binder, when you first fill out this information, you are not trying to make it perfect, okay? So it is okay to print out your templates and handwrite in them really messy. Scratch things out if you need to. That is absolutely okay. As long as you get the information in it, that is the first goal. So I call it a rough first draft. So do not try to be perfect. Do not try to make everything as nice as it can be. Focus at first on getting all of the information into one place. Fill out the worksheets. That includes your Spark Life Binders. That's why I have the printed version and the digital version as a combination, because if you have a page that gets messy, that's okay. You have the digital version so you can reprint that page if you need to. And it will be exactly the same page, and you can still get the updates for the future if you had that digital version as well. So if you want to be able to get future updates to the Spark Life Binder, that digital version is important because you can always just reprint it and get the updates. With the printed version, you don't get future updates because, of course, it's an actual physical product, but it's a nice fast start. So you don't have to worry about printing and assembling. But do not try to make it perfect the first time you do it. Okay, because trying to be perfect will slow you down and add more stress to it than you need it to be. We're going to take small steps. Every once in a while, fill in a page, right? Set a timer for 10 minutes and fill in a few blanks. You don't have to make it a huge project, but feel free. Be messy this first time when you're just getting the information into it, because perfect's going to slow you down. Our goal is to get the information into it, because the more information you have in it, the more useful it is. It starts being useful from the very moment you enter the first piece of information into it. Then it's already valuable. And the more information you add, the more valuable it gets. So it does not even have to be complete to be valuable. But the faster you can complete it, the more stress relief that will be. Once you've completed it, even if it's really messy, once you've completed that rough first draft. Then if you have time, you can go back and make it pretty, right? Then you can go back and with those digital versions, you can type the information into it, print out the nice page with the typed in information. You could put it in page protectors if you want to, whatever you want to do. But do not try to go for perfect when you first start. It's just going to slow you down. It's going to stress you out. And the goal is to get it filled in first and then go back and make it perfect if you even feel like it. It is okay to never make it perfect and leave it messy if that's your style too. As long as the information's there, it is just as useful whether it's pretty or not. So in the comments, no problem, Cheryl. Cheryl said, sorry, I'm late. There's no such thing as late. You got this. Oh, yay. Lori says the important papers workshop in the Spark Life Binder, her motivation to set up her family trusts. Love that. She did some really great work with that. Okay, Heather says, will the important papers workshop be recorded in case I can't watch live? It will. It's going to be a limited time replay, so you will have a short amount of time to watch it, but it will be recorded. There will be a replay if you've registered. Now, if you attend live, you do get a free bonus. You get my How Long to Keep Important Documents guide. So if that's of interest to you, then if you attend live, then you can get that, but the replay is still going to be there. Suzanne says, how much additional info is in the expansion? I'm not sure we need this. Okay, if you're talking about the complex and chronic emergency medical folder expansion, it's really helpful if you do have a lot to track with your medical needs. If you don't, then you might not need it, and that's absolutely okay. Now, this expansion that we're talking about is on the challenge schedule page. You can get it through the end of today for $7. After that, it'll be in the store for $15. But within the complex and chronic expansion, you can see it's a decent number of pages, and that's just for one person's information. But it would have your medications and prescription schedule. It would have a history of the medications and supplements that you have taken in the past, so you can keep track of if you had reactions, what you've tried before. Appointments, if you want to track what upcoming appointments you have, what appointments you've already had. Medical and important events log. So if you've had surgeries or specific tests or specific medical events, there's a log so you can keep track of what has happened in the past. It has imaging and test notes, so you can keep track of blood work and MRIs, ultrasounds, all of those different things. You can keep track of when they happened, if there was anything that stood out in them. And I like to just keep printouts sometimes of the relevant ones right behind that section. It'll have your family medical history, so you can keep track of that medical history for your family, and it has some log pages. So the log pages are ones where you would print out more copies as you need them, and it has the monitoring of systems and symptoms and changes. So vitals, if you want to track vitals, you can track symptoms, whatever you need to track for your medical needs. Medical bill and insurance tracking. So if you do want to make sure that the medical claims went through, everything was paid correctly, and a dated notes section. So if you want to keep track of what was talked about during different doctor's appointments, different notes that you might take. So hopefully that helps explain it. Now, with the Spark Life Binder, now through the end of the day on the 29th, if you grab it, you will get the Utilities and Home expansion pack for the Spark Life Binder too. Just as a heads up, there's a bonus, and it's available now through the 29th of June, which is this Thursday. Peg says, my sign on the back of my Spark Life Binder, it says, done is better than perfect. Oh, I love that you put it on the back of your Spark Life Binder too. What a great reminder, Peg. Love it. Lori says, done is perfect. Absolutely, done is perfect. I love you. I love it. You ladies are so on the ball with that. That makes me happy. Okay, so we did say that we were going to talk about storage and then how to do this for the rest of your important papers. If you do want to join me for the important papers workshop, I'll go much more in depth into this. But with the rest of your important papers and information, that's where the Spark Life Binder does come in. So once you do your emergency medical folder first, as far as completing that, you want to make sure that this is complete first, because that's really essential in case of emergencies. But then your next step will be gather all of your information about the most important parts of your life into one place that your loved ones will know where to look. If even if you went for 6 months on a vacation to Tahiti and they could not contact you, they could still make sure to run your entire life, all of the important things would get taken care of. They would know everything they needed to know without asking you, right? So if something ever happened where you could not communicate, then they have everything they need and you have everything you need. I don't know how many times I grab my Spark Life binder during the month when I just simply need what was that credit card number? What was that insurance policy number? I can't remember if in our safe deposit box, I can't remember, do I have such and such document? And I can look all those things up because I have it at my fingertips too. So this has everything. A lot of times you'll find that the items for sale, these life binders that similar to a life binder that are for sale, you'll find that they cover either one area of your life, such as just for medical or just for financial, and they don't cover the other areas of your life. Or you'll find that they cover your entire life, but they don't go really in depth. So this has over 100 pages with those fill in the blank worksheets. And it has sections for each person in your home, each child, each adult, each pet, all of your important information with those fill in the blank worksheets. So the work is already done for you. You don't have to think about what information is important. You don't have to think about where to record it. This works one-on-one with your file cabinet as well. So you can write down the important information from a document and then reference where the document is stored, the original, and store the document in your file cabinet so this does not become too heavy with your papers, and just keep copies of the important papers in here. But this is the next step after you've done your emergency medical folder. Whether you build your own from scratch, which you can use the important papers workshop to learn how to do, or if you grab the Spark Life binder, which you can grab in the store at SuzannaKaye.com, you can grab that anytime. But I would say if you want it, then grab it before the end of the day this Thursday, because you will get the bonus expansion pack, which is normally $30. This utilities and home expansion pack is going to be part of your purchase if you grab it before the end of the day this Thursday, just as a heads up. But this is your next step, because having all of this at your fingertips, this is what stresses us out about our papers, right? We're not stressed about not being able to find that recipe or that magazine article we cut out or the HOA notice. Those rarely stress us out that much, but we do get stressed out wondering if, my goodness, if something happened, would I be able to get my hands on my original car title? Would I know where to look for that? Or would my family know all the different insurance policies we have? Would my family know what payments happen each month out of our bank account? Those are the things that are stressful. You know, how can I get my hands on things if something goes wrong? How can I share that information with my loved ones? So that's why that's the next step after your emergency medical information. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Remember, with the Important Papers Workshop, you can register anytime between now and Thursday at 6 p.m. when the last session starts at the challenge schedule page. So if you have any questions, please feel free. Now's your chance to ask. Like I said, this is the last day of the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge. So this is our last live session for the challenge. I will also reply if you have any questions. You can ask them afterwards on this replay of this video. I will answer in the chat area there as well. But let's see. So Love Your Life says, is the bonus available with the digital only option? Yes, it is. If you get digital only, if you get print only, or if you get the combination, so you have the quick start and all the future updates, either way, you will get the bonus. Absolutely. Great question. Great. Suzanne says, thanks. I'm glad to know the chronic medical info is available if we need it in the future, but glad we don't need it now. Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you don't need it now too. I hope that it would be great if nobody needed it. Absolutely. And it will be available in the store. Now is just the only time that it's $7 instead of $15, but if you don't need it, don't get it yet. Lori says, though I don't need the critical and chronic section now, I purchased it now at the discount because someday I may need it. Yes. If you want to have it on hand, for if you need it one day, absolutely. Right now, you're going to save $8. So it's more than 50% off. Why not, right? Great job. You're so welcome. Love Your Life. I love that name. Love Your Life, her YouTube name. Okay, well, that's it for today. Let's do a quick recap. All right. So everything that you need, as a reminder, all the links I talked about, all the free extra bonuses that I gave you are under day 3, but they're all on that challenge schedule page. So SuzannaKaye.live/challenge-schedule. Now that schedule page is available until the end of this week. After that, it's going away. And your $7 or your $8 discount on the complex and chronic expansion for your medical folder, the one that has all the extra medical tracking information, that is available until the end of the night tonight, which is Monday. What is today? June 26th. Monday, June 26th. So the end of the night tonight, the discount goes away and it'll be $15. But for right now, you can get it on that challenge schedule page for $7. There's a little coupon code. So you're going to copy the coupon code and click the link and enter the coupon code at checkout. Also, on the challenge schedule page, I gave you the free printout. If you know anybody else who would like a free emergency medical folder template, share that with them. All right. Now, storing. We talked about storing, right? You are going to store your emergency medical folder with the chronic and complex expansion if that's something that's applicable to you. You want to store this preferably in the kitchen, preferably somewhere that's easy to find for first responders. And you're going to grab that bonus on the challenge schedule page of the printable freezer sign, right? It's going to be bright red sign. I'm surprised I actually normally would have it right here with me, but I did not print it out again. But it's going to be a bright red sign and you're going to write down where they can find this. And you are going to put that on the freezer because the first responders will usually look at the freezer to find emergency medical information. So you will use that sign. You will keep your emergency medical folder for you. And if you have extra ones for your family or complex ones, all in the same place in the kitchen, easy to find. Your Spark Life binder that has all of your life information, the one that you can get in the store right now, or you can get it during the Important Papers workshop this week. That's the one you want to keep hidden because that has your personal information. So you're not going to take that one to the hospital. That one stays at home and only the people that you tell how to find it will be able to find it. Okay. So storing your emergency medical folder, that was number 1, and how to do the same thing for the rest of your important papers and have those fillable worksheets so you can take your brain out of the system and you don't have to make any decisions. That would be creating either your own life binder or grab the Spark Life binder so all those decisions are done for you, right? But having it all in one place, you cannot take your file cabinet if there's an emergency evacuation. So trust me, they're heavy. So having it all in one place is important. And I already mentioned the printable sign. That is in day 3 on the challenge schedule page. And I mentioned with the Important Papers workshop, it is only happening Wednesday and Thursday night of this week. So that's the 28th and 29th. You can't make it live. You can catch it on the replay. So there will be a limited time replay afterwards. But if you do attend live, then you will get my How Long to Keep Important Documents guide as a gift for those who do attend live. That sign up sheet is also on the challenge schedule page. And finally, you want one easy place for all of your documents without having to build it yourself, SuzannaKaye.com, go to the store. You can find the Spark Life binder there. And until the end of the day, this Thursday, the 29th, you will get the utility and home expansion pack. And what that is, for those who don't already have it, I know a bunch of you already have this, and I've heard that you are super excited about this. But this has your monthly manual payments tracker. That would be payments that you manually make in and out of your bank accounts. Monthly automatic payments tracker, non-monthly recurring payments tracker. So if you pay something semi-annually or once a year, you're going to be able to track when those payments hit or you have to make those payments. Got the debt tracker, utility contacts. So for all of your utility companies, you have your contact information for those. Contact information for home service providers, so your plumber, your AC guy, where your manuals and warranties are, and a way to organize those warranties and manuals. Keeping track of all of those. Home inventory, I'll give you a home inventory log sheet and extra information on how to keep all of those organized. So this expansion is what you will get when you grab the Spark Life binder before the end of the day, Thursday, the 29th. After the 29th, you can still get the expansion, but it'll be an extra $30. And we do have a couple of other bonuses along with the Spark Life Binder, including some special Spark Life Binder group hike sessions. If you joined me yesterday for the group hike and you liked that, but you don't want to become a member yet, our members get hikes all the time, then once every couple months, I do occasionally offer a group hike to the Spark Life Binder people who earn the bonus. Now, you will get at least one group hike, usually more than one group hike with that bonus, but you would have to grab your Spark Life Binder before the end of the day on the 29th to get that. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And if you have any questions, now's your chance. Finally, in the comments, I want to say, Peg says, when I first got the emergency medical folder and the Spark Life Binder, I thought I would be doing them digitally. But what's working is grabbing the friction erasable pens, my favorites, and filling in the paper pages. It is so much easier when you're first putting that information in, right? To just have it in front of you. That's why I like to have the digital and print together, because so many people really love to be able to handwrite it the first time, but then reprint pages if they need them and get updates in the future. So I love that. That is so awesome, Peg. Good job. CJ says, would you quickly review the information that should not be included in the emergency medical folder? Yes. So in your emergency medical folder, because this is something you are leaving out in the main area of your home and you are taking with you to doctor's appointments, hospital visits, you do not want to include certain information. That would be something like your social security number. You don't want your social security number. You do not want a copy of your driver's license or your driver's license number in there. It's up to you if you want to include your health insurance card and your date of birth. Completely up to you and what your comfort level is as far as that security goes. I mean, most of the time, this is going to be secure and just with you, but just in case, make that decision for yourself. You do not want to include any type of financial account numbers, anything like that, or any type of information about, where something might be hidden in your house. You don't want to put a lot of cash in it. I do say a lot of times I will put, maybe $20 in one of the pockets just in case I had to run and grab it and go in an emergency. But I don't want more cash than I would be upset losing just in case something happened. So those you do not put in your emergency medical folder. And I already know the next question that is in your mind. It's, but what if they need my date of birth? What if they need my health insurance information? That is why on the first page, along with your life-threatening conditions, on the very top of that first page, it says, essential medical details for each person can be found within this folder. Highly sensitive information, including date of birth, ID numbers, and more, can be obtained by contacting. And then here you can put the name, address, and phone number of a trusted contact who would be able to give the first responders or hospital or doctors that information when they call. Because that way that person can make sure that it is a hospital or a doctor, first responder who's calling them before they share that information. So that way you can keep whatever information you want to keep. You can keep it secure without putting it in the folder in case the folder did wander off and get in the wrong hands, but they would still have access to getting that information if you are not able to communicate. Now, like I said, stick with your own comfort level. I'm not telling you what you definitely should put in there. I'm not telling you what you definitely should not. Make your own judgments as far as what your levels of safety are. If there's something in there that you do not feel comfortable entering, leave that line blank and just write call emergency contact for this information. Okay? So you're so welcome, CJ. Not a problem. She says, thank you for that review, especially for new people here, but a good reminder to all of us. By the way, the Spark Life Binder is a life changer. Love it. Oh, yay. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, CJ. For Patty says, so helpful. Good. Sharon says, I already have the Spark Life Binder, so will I get the extra bonus at the end of this session? It's already been emailed to you on the 20th when we released the updates for everything and the Spark Life Binder opened up. We sent out an email. So if you cannot find it from the 20th from me, then shoot me an email at hello@suzannakaye.com and we will make sure to resend that email so you can get it. But it has already been emailed to you how to access it. Uh, short, the short version is it's in your online library with your Spark Life Binder information. So when you log in at SuzannaKaye.com into the Spark Life Binder area, you will find it in there. Oh, good. Lori says, I love the group hikes. I always get something done, even if not paper related. Yes, group hikes are great. You don't have to just do paper. You can do your laundry. You can cook dinner, whatever you want to do that's productive. Love, love, love it. Well, all right. Well, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's session. I know it was a little bit longer, but hopefully you got as much value out of it as possible. And I look forward to seeing you in the Important Papers workshop. That's a workshop that only happens once in a while. It's not something that's always available. So while it's available, make sure to register. And also there are only limited seats simply because our software limits the number of seats that it can support. So make sure to sign up so that it does not get booked up and so that you don't miss it before the next time it comes around much later, either later this year or even early next year. I'm not sure. But keep going one small step at a time. Remember, be what? Perfectly imperfect. Let me uncover that again. Perfectly imperfect. Be perfectly imperfect. Oh, and if you loved the group hike yesterday and want to become a member so you can get multiple group hikes throughout the month, we have at least 4 plus office hours and so many other things. Go to SuzannaKaye.com and go to the store and you can become a Path member there anytime. You can join anytime, you can cancel anytime. Keep it super easy for you, but we don't have a lot of people to cancel. They love it. So see you there. I love you. Thank you, Peg. She sent a heart. And have an amazing day. Keep taking those small steps and you've got this, beautiful. I love you. Bye now.